Welcome back, friends and family. It's been a while since in the studio again. LA, strange. What a strange year for LA. We have a hurricane. So I didn't go out tonight because I thought it was going to be too dangerous. But nonetheless, I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, who are still part of the journey. I know my channel is a mess right now because I do a bunch of things. I'm just trying to fine tune what I like and the things that I love. But let's get started. The reason why you guys clicked this video is because you want to know what camera I chose. It's already in the description, but let's talk about why I chose it. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Rockstarjoehang, but you can call me Rockstar for short. I'm an actor and cinematographer who love to make content, inspiring content. I was in the market for a vlogging camera for a while. I've been vlogging with my GoPro, and I love that setup. It's just nice and light, and it checks a lot of boxes. However, it was so limited, especially if you're not shooting in the daytime. Then with that little sensor it has, it's just not cutting it. So I was in the market for a vlogging camera, and I took my time. I watched a lot of videos, I watched a lot of reviews, and with tons of cameras to choose from, I had to make sure that this camera checked out all the boxes. And I knew I didn't want a camera similar to the one I already have, the Canon C70 and the red Komodo. So I knew that. I knew it had to be compact and lightweight, and it had to be the end all be all for all content creation on all social platforms. And here's the 5 reasons why I chose this bad boy, the Sony ZVE1. Number 1, I chose it for its vlogging features. I knew I was definitely going to be vlogging with it, so that's the main reason. And when Sony launched it, they made sure to let the audience know that it was small and lightweight. So that already caught my attention. However, I never saw one in real life, so I just had to take their word for it, right? Number 2, video quality. This is important for me. It's a 4K sensor, 422 10-bit codec. I knew if in a pinch I had to match it with the Komodo, which is a 16-bit codec, or the C70, which is a 14-bit codec. This 10-bit, if I had a C cam, it should be okay. So that checked that box. So that was one of the main decisions that I chose to go with the Sony ZVE1. Number 3, it's a full frame sensor. As you know, the Canon C70 and the red Komodo are Super 35, so it has a 1.3 crop. Basically, it crops in, so you're not getting the true 24mm. But if you put on a full frame sensor, it's 1-to-1. So a 24 is a 24, a 50 is a 50. So that was huge for me. Second, dual base ISO. Wow. So basically, it has 2 ISO. It shoots at 640 at the low end and 12,800 on the high end. Both red Komodos and Canon C70, their base ISO is 800. And those of you who don't know what ISO is, it's the light sensitivity. Basically, each camera captures dark and light, right? And then depending on the ISO, it sits in between. So it's either gonna grab more highlights and some of the shadows, or more shadows or some of the highlights, something along that area. I'm not gonna go in deep depth with that because that's not what I want to talk about in this video. Another reason I pick, and that leads me to number 4, and that's autofocus. As a professional on set, we do have focus pullers, but when you are deciding to get a vlogging camera, you are a one-man band. I don't have a focus puller. Most of the time it's just me, a tripod, and I'm just filming. So I have to trust autofocus. And autofocus has been so good these days. I think this camera is more than good enough for what I'm doing. So it should be plenty. Number 5 is the price. That's one thing I did not like about this camera. I wasn't looking to spend this much, but it's pricey. Okay. It's definitely not an affordable camera, and I can't imagine people spending money for this camera if it's like you want to jump into content creating and you're like, I want to buy a camera. I think this camera is very expensive, but if you're probably like me and you know what you're doing and you see the value, then I guess it can justify the price tag just a tad. The option I went with is the kit lens, with the 20mm 1.8 lens. I thought that was the best middle ground for me. I knew I was going to be vlogging, so I definitely want a wide lens. I wanted to make sure that when I'm vlogging, I could take you guys along on the journey with me. So that's why I chose the 20mm. The lens that I really want, however, that lens was like $2,000. And if you got the Sony ZVE1 body with that lens, you're talking about over $5,000 camera. Yikes, that's a lot. And it doesn't even come with the memory card. So, whew, expensive. Let me know if this camera, if you're just starting off, would you purchase a camera like this? I think you're going to be hesitant too, because that is a lot of money to invest in something that you know kind of nothing about, right? So let me know in the comments below. I want to thank each and you for watching. On the next video, maybe I'm going to try to put a list on all the things that I purchased to get this camera going the way I like, because I do a lot of vlogging and I'm about to start traveling again. So I want to make sure I had the end all be all. And with that being said, it definitely cost more money. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing and follow me on this journey. Thank you. Have a good one, guys.